Hello everybody, welcome to Fruitful Trees, and I got a special thing for you today. It's been a while since I made an avocado video, and we are right now at the end of March 2024. This is my neighbor Ram, and we're in his yard, and check this out. There's an avocado that he just came off the tree, and look at this. It just fell off here yesterday. It's the end of March, which avocados usually don't last that long on a tree. What kind of tree is this?
This is a croquet.
A croquet.
I think that's how you pronounce it.
Now, yeah, so one of my issues with croquet is compared to the other varieties I've tasted, they usually don't taste as good. And so tell us what you discovered.
Well, if you leave them on, the longer they stay on the tree, the more fat they accumulate. That's my experience with it. And so they taste better and better. If you pick one of these and eat these early, which is like October, tastes like crap kind of, you know what I mean? So I leave mine on the tree. I've been eating avocados every day for 6 months on this tree, about 5 or 6 months.
So the season is from like October all the way to now, which is the end of March. And here's the question that I have to think about myself is I have a croquet tree and I was going to top work it to something else because I just don't like the flavor compared to the others. But that is goes this late. Is it good to keep? And it does taste a good amount better this late, but still not as good as the others. So, question for you. If you had a better variety that stayed as late tasting, would you top work this or would you just stick with this?
If I had a better variety, of course, but I think I actually like these. I mean, and taste is so subjective. To me, I think they're very good.
They're okay, but like for example, an Oro Negro.
Oh, it's not that much difference. Oro Negro is maybe a little better, but to me, it's not a huge amount of difference.
Yeah, like Ram said, taste is subjective because I know people that like love Monroe's, and with Monroe, sometimes I'll get an amazing one, and sometimes I'll get one that's not even close to being good. The thing that's good about the choquet is it's not an alternate bearer. It's a high producer.
Yeah,
it always produces really well.
This tree right here produces hundreds every single year. And some people say, well, if you let them stay on the tree longer, they will have avocados next year. Well, you can see, look at all the flowers.
Yeah, so that's a myth. A myth. Some people say if you let them stay on long, it's going to affect the flowering for next year. But this tree is loaded with new flowers. And it should just be fine. It shouldn't be. It is a myth that's not true.
That's right. That's just a myth.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and go over to my yard and look at my tree and look at my situation because I already was going to top work it with improved pollock, but you got to also consider the seasons and what trees you have because you have a Monroe, you have choquet.
I have 7 trees here. There's a McGale right there. There's another one here that's
you have a
Florida
Florida House. Okay. So you want to make sure you don't have all trees for the same season. And choquet, there's a lot of late season avocados. So that's another thing to consider. So you have 2 choquet trees.
No, just one. Oh no, I do.
You have 2. I have 2. So he has 2 trees. And did your other one hold avocados this late?
Not as late.
Okay.
But this particular one always holds it late, and so I'm very happy to have it.
Okay. So yeah, it might be worth it to top work one of them to like a Kampong or a Ronnie or something.
Yeah.
A little different variety in case, but just because you got 2.
Right.
But my dilemma is I got 1, and do I top work it or do I just leave it be? And that's what we'll discuss in today's video. Okay, everybody, here is the tree. This is the choquet avocado tree I was talking about. So when I first moved in the yard, I had several avocados, more than I have now. I've taken some out. And this was one of the ones that I decided I was going to take out because even though I did get an avocado, it wasn't as good as the later ones that I tasted at Laura Farms and the ones I decided to keep and plan with the seasons. But after seeing my neighbor's tree that I just showed you, I've reconsidered this and I'm thinking this might be a tree to keep just to have the later variety avocados staying on the tree longer than any avocado that I know, and pretty good for the late season avocado. But what I did was my plan was to top work this tree, and I already planted an improved pollock under here with the idea of as that's growing out of the pot in the ground, maybe a little bit better, I'll take some grafts from that and put them on the stump of the choquet. And if the choquet doesn't make it, I mean, if the grafts don't make it, I still have the tree growing. But now what I'm considering doing, strongly considering doing, and knowing that it might not be the best tasting avocado, but it's the best tasting one now because it's the only one out now that you can grow in your tree. This tree's going great. And I might have discovered a great benefit from this that I'm going to show you right now from doing it this way. Because at one point, this tree was huge. Now, even though I only got a few avocados off it, I would have gotten a lot more. But I'd have avocados on this tree right now if I would have let it grow. So technically what I should have done, we live and we learn, is I should have let this tree have stayed big, got all my avocados on it, kept the improved pollock tree in the pot until that grew bigger, and then make my decision what I wanted to do, take my grafts off then, and then deal with this tree. But I just didn't like the taste of the choquet. The problem was I was eating the earlier season choquets, where they take some time to develop. And I found that with all avocados. Donnie, which is one that's known for early and an early producer. I don't like the way it tastes when it's early, but when it's later, it's not that bad. Well, all of them, the longer they hang on the tree, the better I find they are. So, but here's a great benefit. What happened from me making this mistake and doing it this way, it turned out good. So check this out. So as we come close and we look more at the tree, this whole space was filled with this tree, and it will grow back. I suspect I'll have fruit by next year. But so what I did is there is the improved pollock that I planted in the ground, and this tree droops, and it's not getting any sunlight here or anything. It's not beneficial here at all right now. I'm going to do my best to attempt to take this out of the ground and put it back in a pot. But look what happened here. See, this choquet tree, it was here. Here's where I cut it. It was growing straight up and didn't have branches till it was much higher. But now that I cut it with the idea to top work it, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and even over here I have 6 and 7 new branches that came out low. So what a great thing that happened, not planned, but now if I let this tree grow, the branches are going to come out much lower, and it's way above the graft. The graft isn't way all the way down there, so coming up, I already have 2 here, and then I have those 4 here starting much lower. So this is a mistake turned out good. I expect that I might even have fruit on this next year, even though there's no flowers on here, but this tree will grow back real fast, and I'll have to take out this improved pollock and find another space for it, which I'll attempt to do. It's tricky with avocados when you take them out. You got to be real careful, but this is young, and it's only been in the ground here now for maybe 5 or 6 months or so, should be okay to take that out. So I went through this with my Monroe avocado tree as well. I had taken that out of the ground just because Monroe and choquet are very similar in taste and also in the season. So I don't feel bad about that decision. And with Monroe, I would get some that are amazing and some that weren't that great. Well, that's been my experience with choquet for the most part. Now, let me show you how some of my other avocado trees are doing that I'm so excited about, and they're flowering out wonderful. And it's kind of an update because I did a lot of videos when I first planted these. So this is one of my first avocados that I put in the ground here, and this is behind me now, and that is my Oro Negro. And it is just taking off and looking great. So my Oro Negro, I'll turn this around and show you. Look at that beautiful tree. Now I cut all the lower branches off so it gives me room to walk around here and so on. And the tree's tall, but it's not so tall where I can't get the avocados. So many flowers on there. Now, Oro Negro is a great late season avocado, but it's known to be alternate bearer possibly, or not the best producer. My experience the last 2 years, it produced wonderful, but I do know Alex at Tropical Acres Farms had an Oro Negro that 2 years ago was loaded, and last year he had none. So this is a questionable one in terms of production-wise, but taste-wise, it's one of the best. So that's the Oro Negro, and I just love the way that one's growing. Now, if you come over here, this is another late-season avocado. This one's called a Ronnie, not a Donnie, but a Ronnie, and it's not well known, but it should be. It's from Laura Farms, Miami. It's supposed to be a later season one. But even the early season one tasted really nice on this one. So this one is a Ronnie, and this one is growing really well, and it's got a lot of flowers on there. So I haven't gotten any fruit off this one yet, so I'm really excited about that. And these are what survived in my crazy just throwing fruit trees in the ground and seeing what I want to keep and take out. And here's the Maria Black. I struggled with putting a tree in this spot. I had a day avocado here. It didn't work. But the Maria Black looks like it's working and it's taking. So eventually it is going to be a tight space. I have a miracle fruit here, so I'll have to keep that Maria Black real small. But thankfully it's a dwarf avocado tree. So these are 3 avocado trees I have here. The Oro Negro and the Rani are late season avocados. And the Maria Black is, I'd say, a mid-season avocado. So that's my front yard here. Let me show you my avocado trees in my backyard now. Still in my front yard, I showed you the choquet avocado tree. That's right there. So that's on the other side of my front yard. Here in my backyard, I have 3 avocado trees. This one, I got 4 actually. This one is my Simmons avocado tree that's growing really nice. I planted it very close to that black gold, closer than I guess I would have liked, but it's still growing really nice and it's flowering. This is an early season avocado, excellent tasting. That's a Simmons avocado. Now, another early season avocado that I planted here is a Dupuis. I really like the Dupuis avocado, and it's over here. I planted this. It's a real small tree. It's starting to grow. It's close to the to the white sapote, but it'll still have some room to grow, hopefully. But that's a Dupuis avocado, and that's another early season. And this tree I'm really, really excited about. This is probably one of my favorite late season avocados. This is called Campong. And this was a winter Mexican that they didn't ripen evenly, so I top work. And the top work is looking really nice. And now I'm starting to get some flowers on this tree. And the interesting thing about this, I just cut off the winter Mexican branch that was coming out there because somebody said if you cut that off, it'll and you only have 1 avocado instead of 2 or 3. It does better. And as soon as I cut that off, this started flowering. But I think it was more of the age because it's been here a while. But I have a Campong avocado tree. I also have one in a pot as a backup. If this doesn't work, I have a Campong tree in the back. Then the other avocado tree I have here is a mid-season. This is called a Catalina avocado. Very nice avocado. Catalina. Now over here in Mango Land, I have this avocado tree. This is a tree that I moved from another property, and it's grown back and it's flowering, and I believe it's either a Lula or a Monroe. I'm not 100% sure, but we'll find out because I had 2 trees over there, and one of them didn't make it and one of them did. So that's either Lula or Monroe. And I don't know by looking at the leaves if anyone can tell. But they do have different flavors, so I'll be able to tell. And this was moved, so I cut it when I moved. And you can see how they all grew out the side now of the stump. You know, the other suspect is that the guy that gave me these trees, I don't know if he had inexperience or if he wasn't knowledgeable, but it doesn't even look like there's a graft on it also. Is it possible he gave me well, maybe there's a graft, but is it possible he gave me a seedling? But I've had avocados off this every winter. It produces, and they do taste like Lulas. So I think there's a true Lula, not a Monroe. I think it's a Lula, but regardless, we'll find out real soon. Actually, not too soon. We'll have to wait till the winter time. But they're starting to form, so that's nice. And now that I have the experience, I'll be able to tell most likely which one it is. But from what I remember, they weren't as big as Monroe's, so I think they're Lulas. And then finally, right here is the Campong avocado tree that I have in a pot as my backup. Campong. And soon I'll have the improved pollock as a backup as well. Well, not even as a backup. I'll just have it in a pot because I'm going to up-pot that one. But that's it. All right, everybody. I can't express to you how much and excited I am about what's going on here in in my yard here with the avocado trees, and learning about this choquet, that it lasts this long and stays on a tree, is really exciting as well, because I mean, we're here almost in April, and my neighbor just pulled off his last choquet, and that's really exciting, really exciting. I know there's a couple of other avocados I'm checking out. Julie and Laura found one at Trek, which is one that fruits in April and May. So we're going to look at that one and in the future. And I just want to try to have good coverage all year for avocados. Okay, everybody, it's the next day, and I got a chance to sleep on this and think about this situation with this choquet avocado that's growing great. It seems to be growing more every day, but I still have the improved pollock under there. And what I think I decided to do was I'm going to take the improved pollock out and put it in a pot. I know Julian at Laura Farms is doing great with his improved pollock. I spoke to Alex at Tropical Acres, and his improved pollock and even his pollock is not as productive as some of the other good tasting varieties that I like. I want to get improved pollock in the ground, but with my limited space, I got to consider what I want to put here. And right now, this choquet is outgrowing this improved pollock tremendously and not giving it any sun to grow. So I'm going to attempt to take the improved pollock out. Keep the choquet here for the moment, but I don't want the choquet. I don't like the way it tastes overall. Even the later season choquets do not taste as good as other varieties to me. So what I decided to do is this. I have here this amazing avocado that I put in here as a 1 gallon, and it's growing so well. And that's called a Dupuis avocado. It's an early season avocado called a Dupuis avocado. But as you see here, it's so close to my other trees. I have a white sapote tree there, and I also have a seedling jackfruit here. So my Dupuis avocado needs a better space. Now I'm not going to take that out of the ground and remove it, but what I am going to do is I'm going to take some cuttings from that and put that on a choquet and top work the choquet with this Dupuis avocado. That's what I think the solution is going to be. Just in case this Dupuis avocado in this place doesn't get enough space, I could have it growing there as a backup. Okay, everybody, each situation is like your own canvas to do your own artwork, and that's what I'm going to do for the artwork here. I figured out, I thought about it all night, what's the best situation. So I'm almost ready to have cuttings on this to top work that, and I'll move that improved pollock to a pot, and we'll see how it goes from there. Yes, I may change my mind. I may change my mind several times, but at least this gives me a backup for this nice avocado that I don't want to lose. All right, everybody, thank you for watching. Have a great day and keep growing.